and welcome. It's Jim from Observatory. Let's just pull that in so that you can hear me. I'm going to, over the next couple of weeks, start blocking a lot of people. It's probably going to be in the thousands, and I'm not going to put up with what I have done over this weekend, because we have deliberately rotters coming on, making all sorts of allegations that are clearly not true. And I just want you to imagine, can you imagine how my partner felt when she saw some of the comments of people from Western countries who claim to be intelligent people, when they come out and they stereotype Thailand people for being majority in the sex trade or ladyboys. I can say that when I was in Bangkok for about 4 days, I never even saw one ladyboy. What I did see from the time that I was there over the 14 days is very nice people, are humble and happy, even though they don't have a lot, but they're happy with their lives, and they're very communicative oriented and very helpful people. So it was a massive disgrace on those people's behalves to have such thoughts. The reason why I went there and my partner was because her son was becoming a monk, which is a huge thing for any Thai family to have one of their siblings become a monk, and that's what we was there for. And the day that he became a monk was an amazing day of celebration with the whole of the town that he lived at. So I just don't know where these people's mindsets come from. I don't know what they're thinking about. But we're getting more and more of this on the channel, as you've probably seen. We had that guy who had gone into the archives of the businesses that I've owned, and he got it completely wrong, even though he did. With regards to one of the photos that he used, and said it was me standing next to a 911 when it was my brother around 15 years ago. I don't hide the fact that I drive a Porsche Cayman, and not one of you guys have paid for that. Give me some credit. I'm 50 years old this month, and what do you think I've been doing? Scratching my arse since I've been here on this planet. I have accumulated a little bit of wealth for myself. It's not your wealth. I put more into this observatory than what I get out of it, and that's been the case for a long time. Just think, we had 10,000 views on a video a couple of days ago, and 6 people contributed, probably less than £50, £60. So, get a grip. You didn't pay for the Thailand trip, and you didn't pay for the car, you didn't pay for the property that I live in, and you didn't pay for the fuel in that car. So, you need to swill your brains in some water. And in any case, I'm just waiting for all of you to start making some really negative comments. Those bad people will definitely be doing that, and they'll be getting kicked off the channel. And I hope it is in the thousands. I would rather block 49,000 people over the next 2 weeks and just have 1,000 decent people left in our community, because what, I do understand sometimes this might be AI, artificial intelligence, writing these comments and just being ruthless, but not all of you. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been an active observatory for 4.5 years. We've been talking about the topic of magnetic pole reversal for over a decade. And, people should appreciate the fact that they have got access to information that is being gathered by a private observatory like ours, because they are not going to get this information anywhere else. So when these people are kicked, they're not coming back. If they come back under another name, we're just going to kick them again. But we're not going to let them destroy the community of people that we've built up. We've got over 1,000 good people on this channel that support it sometimes. And we've never, in any case, made it mandatory that they have supported. It's always been voluntarily. It is a charity. Obviously, we need to maintain some money coming in order for us to produce what we do. It's as simple as that. But it's never produced a lot. It could have meant a lot more. It could have gone a lot further. We could have employed people. We could have had a lot more field equipment and people helping us who have been willing to. It's just the fact we just don't have the money to. You know, these people don't appreciate the fact that I can, with my unusual skill set, write programs, build electronics, and have a qualification in science. You know, whereas when they go to other channels, all they've got is people regurgitating what they see on other news and media outlets and organisation outlets. That's where they get their information from. We get our information from the data which we collect from our own equipment, and yet people say that we are corrupt, we're in it for the money, etc., etc. Our money comes from making Cladra silver, making Cladra silver generators, doing deep space communications, sending messages out for people that want a message sent out into space that will travel for thousands of years unless it deteriorates by coming into contact with something. And the other way I make money is I'm contracted sometimes out to the aviation industry. It's as simple as that. It's not your money I spend on my personal stuff, and you know what, it's none of your business how I spend my money and where I go. What is your business is that, you know, I do give you back something if you are one of these people that donate occasionally, and I believe you get your money's worth. Because, you know, when I said that to build a Trimax system and develop it would cost, you know, tens if not hundreds of thousands of pounds, I'm not joking. If you don't believe me, you're clueless in this industry, in the electronics industry, of how much things cost and how things get developed. The muon detectors was donated to us by, and donated to everyone that wanted to build one, by MIT. We had their printed circuit boards made, and we started building them and putting them out there in the field. But like I said, if you was to try and if you was to try and purchase a neutron detector, which is bigger than a muon, you know, muon's a lot smaller subatomic particle, then you would pay around about £7,000, and I know that because I looked at buying one. So, you know, we have over the weekend been scrutinised. We've proved everything that we was asked to, just to satisfy, you know, a few individuals who have then since asked further questions. They're not satisfied. These people don't know genuine people from non-genuine people. It's like the Lord says in the book, in the Christian Bible, you know, that we will live in a time where people would rather believe a lie as opposed to the truth. People would rather believe, you know, someone who is dishonest than somebody who's honest, and they will not know how to work out which way is which, when it has been clear that the way we have generated money here on this channel is by people donating to it. We haven't sold t-shirts, baseball caps, mugs. We've not tried to sell you land anywhere, and we've not, you know, porn the life out of you, saying that tomorrow will be your last day. It may well be your last day. It depends on where you're caught up in whatever given scenario. I mean, just look at that earthquake that happened recently in Turkey. You know, these things are predictable. You know, we can figure out when they're going to happen, and it'll only be by using the scientific method that we're able to do so. I mean, it's impractical for someone to go outside and take a magnetic reading with all what goes on, with all the interference that can possibly happen with that. You need equipment to do it, and we do that every 3 seconds here at the Observatory. And we record it and we give you the information. We tell you where the magnetic pole is every month. You know, we tell you how fast it's migrated and over how much distance it's migrated and where it's heading as well. And we've told you why the magnetic pole is migrating in the first place. These other channels and organisations as well have never came out and said this to you. You know, we've also noticed correlations between temperature and magnetic poles, or stronger intensities, which again, you know, even the mainstream industries have never came out with and told you, like NASA, NOAA, European Space Agency, etc. You know, they've not told you these things. I think we've educated people a lot more on this channel, especially the last 4.5 years, than what a lot of organisations have, and what a lot of other channels could never do. You know, that is what we've given back to the public. So, like I said, I'm going to start deleting a lot of people off this channel. And you probably have rejoined with another channel's name, and you know what you've done and what you've said is unacceptable, and it's not a fair comment. You just came here to disrupt the community of decent, good people, and I think you're rotten, and I want to refine, all the rot out of this until we get a pure, good community. And I think that you good people out there want that for yourselves. These people will never be supportive of anything because they are like what is happening here in the UK. We've got people on £80,000 salaries going to the food bank because simply they can get food for free, and they are taking the food away from the vulnerable people who really need it. Shame on them, but they don't care because they are rotten people that know that they can afford to buy their own food, but because it's up for free, they're going to take it free and then spend their money on other things. It's greedy. I've said this before, our creator, whoever you want to call him, left all our resources on this planet for us all to inherit. And the thing that stopped us inheriting it was the invention of money. And that's why I mentioned that chapter in the Bible. If you go to Revelations 11:12, chapter 13, paragraph 18, it talks about, here is wisdom, let him that have wisdom work out the number, for it is a number 6, something like that, without reading it out to you. But, have you ever tried to figure out what they're talking about in here? Because if not, I'll just mention that you can go to Kings 9:6, chapter 10, paragraph 14. You might get an answer as to what's being talked about, because it mentions a name, it mentions the numbers in the exact same manner, 600, 6, and it also mentions that these were talents of gold, which was an ancient currency. And that's the nature of the beast, if you ask me. I think that that's why they have only been put twice in that book in that manner. You see, those talents of gold came to the King Solomon, and it was talking about the nature of the beast being currency, money, because since we've had money, we have had to work for whatever resources we wanted. And that's where we've got ourselves in so much trouble. And I believe that this world would be a much better place if we hadn't have invented money, because of the wickedness in which it causes. I mean, you ask people for help, you ask people to donate a few bucks of their money, and when they know they can get it for free, like they do on our channel, because it's not mandatory, they stick here like parasites, absorbing information, data, which is critical, and yet not offering any assistance back. It's these people that are going to the food banks knowing that they can afford their own food, but they are taking it out the mouths of people that can't afford and genuinely need that charity. And that's why the food banks now are overwhelmed and people are starving to the levels that which they are, which is shameful, being in a country like the UK, which is said to be one of the 7th richest countries in the world. And yet we have child poverty, we have adult poverty, we have pensioner poverty, we have, unprotected companies stealing the pensions off of people, and it's becoming a rotten world for everybody. And it's no wonder why people believe we're in end times, when they look at some of the things in Revelations and see the correlation between some of the events that have already happened, and pose the question, are we already there yet? So I'm going to try and do my best to clean up this channel and get rid of these rotters out of our community. But, don't leave me there getting attacked by them. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you know I'm a genuine guy, and I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to help others, and that's why we don't charge for anything. We just ask simply if you can afford to make a donation. The link is there. But don't stand for this behaviour. When they're attacking me, you know, I expect my community to stand up for me as well. And I know some of you already have, by the way. And that's all I've got to say. We're going to clean the house up. And if it means getting rid of 49,000, 50,000, or most of them, we will. Simple as that. We'll kick them all our way. Because they don't deserve to have good company like ours. It's simple as that. There is a link down there if you want to help support us. It's not mandatory. And you're not putting fuel in my Porsche. But if you want to help support genuinely what we do, the link's there. You can also become one of our patrons who have patiently been there since, 4.5 years ago. So, or since at least we put the Patreon account up there. So you've got two ways. You can make a PayPal donation, you can join us as a patron, but it's not mandatory. It's entirely up to you. I'll say what I usually do. Guys, link down there. You have a good day. Take care of your loved ones. And as always, bye for now.